Jacob, being the good prophet that he was, took Isaiah's words and gave us all a much needed crash course on covenants. Basically, if you want to avoid eternal doom, pay attention to what God has been saying since forever. And where do you remember these covenants best? The temple. Why? Because it helps you to resist temptations and trials, both inside and outside its walls. Now, let's talk about the big picture. The history of humanity is basically one long story of people messing up. But thankfully, God has a backup plan because he saw this coming. That plan, the atonement, without it, we'd all be stuck, crumbling into dust and permanently cut off from God, which is not a great way to spend eternity. Jesus, being the MVP of the universe, took on flesh, suffered, died, and then pulled off the greatest comeback of all time, the resurrection. This event was so monumental that it not only gives us hope, but also gets people out of grief and into light. Without it, we'd all be stuck in a never-ending cycle of doom. Subject to the devil, but who's really into secret combinations and shady business deals. But thanks to God, it's infinite goodness, there's a way out. So what's the deal? After we're resurrected, we stand before the Holy One for judgment. The righteous will be righteous still, but the filthy will still be filthy. Yikes. And those who endured the world's nonsense with faith inherits God's kingdom. The key to all this, repent and be baptized and believe in the Holy One of Israel. If you don't, well, let's just say the alternative isn't that great. And a final word of warning. If you think you're super wise and don't need God's counsel, you might want to rethink that, because human wisdom without God is basically just glorified foolishness. Oh, and if you're rich and treat the people like dirt, bad news, you're in trouble too. Same goes for those who refuse to see or hear the truth. Moral of the story, trust God, keep your covenants, and don't be a self-important fool.